So the next prospect we're going to look at in this year's draft is Nolan Schanuel, 6'4", 220-pound left-handed hitter out of Florida Atlantic University. Now, this kid's stats page from this year, like if you're a model-based team, right? Like there's big league baseball teams that run modeling on statistical analysis and data, and for teams that actually run off the model, this is like the best stats page in history. Listen to these stats he put up this year. He had 447 with 19 bombs, 41 extra base hits, an 868 slug with 71 walks and only 14 strikeouts, a 615 on-base percentage, and almost 1,500 on-base plus slug. These numbers are absolutely insane. And for anybody out there that's going to talk about the competition he's facing at FAU versus what he would have faced somewhere else, I don't care. He's facing really good arms down in Florida at the collegiate level, and they're playing against some really good competition. So talking about the fact that he's not an SEC guy is ridiculous, and these numbers are stupid. Let's dig into some of what he's doing that creates this. So take a look at this swing. In case you just let that play a couple times, just play it over and over, okay? Do you see the stability that his body gets into impact? Okay, there's a cue that we use with a lot of guys and you know, works whether guys are 11 years old and it's worked with big leaguers. If you tell a player, you know, their barrel's dragging or they're not compressing the ball the way they need to, and you say, okay, kid, I want you to imagine there's two walls over there, and one's made out of brick and the other one's made out of foam. If you throw a ball off against both walls, which wall makes it bounce farther? Kid says brick. Then you tell him, put your arms up real quick, and you slap him in the stomach a couple of times. And he starts to feel that tension. And you ask him, okay, what'd you feel there? And he says, tension, bracing, flexing. Exactly. Kind of like he's turning into a brick wall. When we swing a bat, you see these movements happen from a lot of the most elite players in the history of the game. And basically, when you swing, after you land, your upper body is compressing your lower body into the floor. It's sending energy and pinning that lead leg in between the pelvis and the stable ground. That's going to help start this deceleration process where the hips stop. Right? After that happens, then the trunk can stop and stabilize. And when you watch slow motion video of the best hitters in history, you're going to see from that like almost a bat lag standpoint through extension, you're going to see that from here through there, right, the rest of the body is not moving. It's braced for impact. Right? Think about if you're doing a snatch in the weight room, right? You have to be able to catch the weight and stabilize the entire body for the brace at impact. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly what you're seeing him do. You see those hands outrace the pelvis early, the barrel's on plane with the ball, the back leg is holding on and hanging on, and that front leg is stable and he's compressing it into the floor. This guy knows what it means to compress the cork of the baseball. And he's got incredible feel for his barrel when he does it. Now, one of the interesting things, go ahead and scroll forward just a little bit. Now, you see that position right there where he's got a little bit of space between those arms? This is not something that you make every hitter do or you chase with every hitter. But with guys that have a lot of times a vertical swing, right, you're going to see them hold on to space between those arms through extension. And that space is letting you know that this guy has been able to deliver the head and deliver the barrel through impact. A lot of people, when they think about extension, they try to like stay through it here and they guide instead of taking the barrel and delivering through impact with extension. And that tells us that he's done that. Now let's flip over to the game footage real quick. Look how close his toes are to the plate. Right? This kid is on top of it. I mean, he's on top of the chalk line. Now, here's the really interesting thing about that, okay? So he's got a real tall setup, right? We see these high hands. If you look at the trajectory of Barry Bonds' career, right, and you look what happened as he went to the Giants and he got older. I'm not talking about the steroids, and I don't even want to hear it. There's a lot of guys that can bench 450 pounds that can't hit a baseball like that. When you look at Bonds, he had all that armor on, right? And he got really, really close to the plate. It's basically making everything your inside pitch. But to be able to do that and do it effectively, you have to have fighter pilot eyes. You have to have the vision and the ability to lay off of everything that is just off the plate. You have to really understand how to get the barrel to the ball in a very, very small window. So not everybody has the capability to do that. This guy does. This guy does. With that high hand setup and being so close, it's almost like if the ball is under him, it's a yes. If it's not under him, then it's a no. Right? So when you think about that strikeout to walk ratio, right, and those fighter pilot eyes, that's something that's helping it, right? Him being so close and being on top of it, if he doesn't see it right in here, he's just shutting it down, right? So I don't expect these numbers to, I mean, obviously there's going to be regression as you go up, and what he's doing right now is almost Barry Bonds-esque. It's ridiculous. But this kid's going to hit. He's going to hit for a long time. He's going to hit at the big league level. And I expect him to be a really cool player to watch going forward. Now, take a look at this one real quick, right? Get through impact there. Get through contact. So at contact, right, he's getting stabilization. But then, after he gets through it, his upper body is ripping through so hard, it's peeling his lower body out of that position. That's a very, very different thing than when you see someone lead with the hips and pull them out of position, right? That means the hips are leading the way and yanking it out of the way instead of the upper body getting across the lower body with stability. And then after impact and after extension, all that force is then peeling you out. Those are two very different things. So anybody that thinks he's flying open off the ball on those inside pitches, that is not what's happening, okay? These are really incredible moves, and this kid he's got a shot to be pretty special. I'm excited to watch him.